So what's up, everybody? You saw us go all the way up to Chicago area to try to get the digger bought. I took a car that I was going to trade him, maybe some cash, whatever. Whole deal fell apart. We came back empty-handed. A few months later, we got the deal done, and Sean is on his way right now with the digger in the trailer, ready to rock. You guys are going to dig this. This is a couple episodes that are going to blow your mind.
1,900 miles to go pick up the digger, and last fuel stop, always when the sun goes down, something goes wrong, and pulled over, find out that the load shifted, and one tire dug into the fender of the trailer. So we're sitting on 3 airs, and the load shifted 6 inches to the right. Headers are in the fender of the trailer on the right side, and somehow I have a feeling Richard's gonna have my ass in more ways than one. He's gonna lose his shit for sure.
I should be in a good mood, hopefully.
I think it's about to change.
A few moments later.
You fucked up my car.
I'm thinking I did, yeah.
Trailer.
But I told you. Alright, let's just see it. You told me you messed it up, so.
There wasn't enough bubble wrap.
It wasn't bubble wrap, dude. You just were worried about putting the motor over the wheels, and there's not even enough weight to it. I don't want to talk about it. Well, it's got a flat.
Yeah, it's got a flat.
Did you have that on there before?
So I had to remove the extensions. There's one in the truck. I had to remove an extension on that side just to get in the trailer. So you can see how much it scooted forward, because this was way back. And there's a hole.
There's a drive shaft with your legs.
Get into the fiberglass.
We'd have to probably get it on the light.
Alright.
There's wood chips everywhere. Well, yeah, look at dude. Look, even with the painter's tape, we pop the painter's tape, right?
Wait a second. What's going on here? Did that thing totally bounce over?
Yep,
Yeah,
sure did.
What this screws to?
What the fuck, man?
So that happened.
I'll pick it up. Where is the wood chips coming from?
I don't know.
It's part of the inside form for the fiberglass.
So you remember when we went and got this? The mold was laying out in the field and it looked like a Frankenstein, one of these? No?
Dude, this is one of the bigger purchases I've made, and now it's just fucked off.
Well, I tried to make it special for you, and I guess I made it special.
Alright, Phipps, get a jack. Let's get a wheel on it so we can wheel it out of here. I don't know that
It's gonna have to roll back.
I don't think the gunny wheel's gonna work.
That's a Corvette, right?
But it's not big enough. It's not as tall as the other side. So
Well, we put both of them on.
no, because I think it'll hit the ground. I don't think it's tall enough.
Will that air up?
I put my finger in the hole.
Well, if I air it up while you're sticking your finger in the hole, will that work?
It probably won't work.
Alright, we'll get it off.
Oh well.
So that pipe,
This is
honestly,
my life.
that pipe,
Yeah, you buy the coolest things and
And you fucked up the trailer? It's not good enough that you screwed up the car, you fucked up the trailer too.
well, let's get it.
Brand new trailer from Hallmark, Phil's Trailer Sales, shameless plug, and you fucked it up.
Well, at least I popped this cherry.
who did that?
That is not me.
Alright, let's get it out of here as easily as possible and see what I'm dealing with, because I really want to get this car on the road. This is where this car belonged. It was built 1 mile from here.
Yep, right down the street from my place.
You don't have a place anymore.
My dad's old place. Okay, so I grew up watching this guy build this car, and there's some really cool stories
You still haven't grown up.
Well, I was younger.
As a person that does this for a quasi living, every time you stop, you have to re-strap because the straps stretch and everything settles. Well, in my infinite wisdom, I was just doing it out the front, which was
You
then
said that this didn't,
obviously pulling into the tire.
that this didn't hold.
It vibrated loose, and that was about right there. So this was flopping at one point. It did not hit.
Man.
Hey, wait, should we turn this around so we can roll right up into the shop?
Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Why are you wearing those stupid shoes?
Hey, dudes.
Hey, dude, leave those shoes alone.
Wait.
All right, so let's see how big the hole is. Finger in my finger. That was odd.
No.
We had that hole.
More of a rip.
Yep, that's right where the fender is.
I wonder how old those are. I'm sure Chris put them. He's had this thing 12, 14 years, something like 15 years. Okay, so I went with Richard.
You had to air up the
I
tire.
went with Richard goes, come on, we're going in the truck. This is back when he drove like this. His laptop was here and he's freaking on his phone, okay? We go to this out in the middle of nowhere and I see this and I drove out, wow! It was just a fun day. I used to have fun days with him. Kind of like the fair. It's fun.
Dude, I watched that episode. That's pretty funny. I was waiting for you to go gobble gobble.
I tried at the end. I had to be a chicken.
Don't worry, I'll play catcher.
You're pretty good at that, Sean.
You are a good catcher.
How come my fucking windshield's cracked? What the fuck, man? You guys... I don't even think that was cracked a minute ago when I looked at the car. I looked at the car. Was that cracked when you picked it up?
Let me look at the picture. Well, it ain't from this movie.
That was not even fucking cracked when I
Dude.
walked in this
Hey,
thing.
look at the bubbles. That's been done on.
Just blame it on me. Like I said, I got colonoscopy coming up next week. Just
Dude.
shove it all in there.
Give me that wrench. I'm going to
Take
give him one
pictures.
right now.
We'll have
I
fun
actually
doing
have
it.
my doctor laying on my desk right now as far as this name and number to get my colonoscopy. I don't really look forward to anything putting up my ass, but I sure like the way they put you to sleep.
Well, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. But then it's only like a 20-minute procedure, right?
Oh, it's quick.
No, it's
So then why
fine.
can't they just knock you out on that?
It's the
No,
fun they.
fucking asshole like you. It's probably going to take a
It's only
couple
a 5-minute
hours.
procedure. It's 15 of them playing with your butt before.
So let me tell you a little story about young Richard. You know, probably, hell, I guess I was 19, 20, 21. I heard rumors about this car, but I was over in Fort Worth. And then when I moved to Dallas, I always wanted to see the car, and I never got to see it. But I'd heard about it and seen it in magazines and what have you. And I was like, man, that's just too cool. Somebody built a street legal, tagged and titled dragster for two people, and they're driving around. And a lot of people don't know that right over here on Forest Lane, literally like a couple miles from here, was at one point one of the top 3 cruising streets in all of America. I mean, there was Forest Lane, there was something out in California, maybe something else in California, but we were in the top 3 cruising spots in all of Dallas and all of America for that matter. But this car made an impression on me as a young kid. And when I started Gas Monkey, I started kind of looking for it. And then when I got into Phipps's shop and was renting the shop behind his, I found out that it was built right across the street by a guy named Mike Manette. And long story short, I was like, I want to find that car one day. Finally, we found it. Actually, Phipps went with me to get it out of somebody's backyard. It was laying next to the beat down fiberglass molds. And it was painted yellow and had smiley faces on it. It was a really strange look. I bought it. I was going to restore it. I was going to do all this stuff. I had grandiose ideas, and I had no money. And then Hollywood called, and I got a TV show. So I had to sell it to get the money so that I could make the best show possible. And I sold it to a guy named Chris Ito. He was here local at the time. Now he lives up in Chicago. Long story short, he's a purist. He wants things to go back just like they were, make a hot rod the way it was intended, keep it the same, etc. And so I was happy to sell it to him. So that was probably 14 years ago. And Chris is retiring. He's going to move down to Florida and live with all the rest of the Q-tips. And I decided, maybe it's time to get this back into the shop, get it built, and get it back on the road. Because it technically hasn't been on the road since, what, the late 70s, Phipps?
Yeah.
Late 70s. So the motor's built and ready to go. It's already been dynoed and everything. Training's been gone through. What we got to do now is build it out. I'm going to build it better, faster, leaner, and meaner. And I'm going to drive this thing on U.S. freeways. So get you some of that.
So on Reeder Road was considered gasoline alley at one point. There was drag racers, Bernstein, Raymond Beadle was on there, Chip Woodall, T-Bar Chassis, who was my dad's best friend, one of them, Moose. Well, Mike had a stall in there, and he's an engineer. He was working for gas equipment at the time. And he built this car. Well, this car actually has old components from those old drag racers that gave him stuff. I remember seeing it, as a kid. My dad would pull through there, and my dad stayed late, and they were late. I was ready to get home or whatever. But okay, so the body, when Mike made it, he was sanding it for, to make the mold or whatever. Well, Craig Breedlove, and you'd have to look that name up. He held the land speed record for the longest time. Well, he was talking to Mike. Mike's out there saying it. Well, he just grabbed some sandpaper, started to help him. He didn't know who he was. So that was one cool story about it. But Connie Coletta, well-known drag racer, way back, started, way back when this. But anyway, a lot of his stuff's on it. But it's just the coolest thing seeing this like this. Okay, so when Richard got it, I'd mock the motor back up and I'd roll it out in the morning. Be cool. Rolled it back in. I love it. I just love it. Clifford Campbell was Mike's really good friend, and Clifford actually drove this thing more than Mike did. Mike's builds. He's not in the. Well, he might have been back then, but he's super nice guy. He's still in the shop down the street from our house, or our old shop. But I'm just tickled to death that he's got this back, and we will make it drivable and safe with AC and all the comforts. But the coolest part is this canopy goes, whoop, and you climb in. Okay, there ain't much to sit, but underneath this wood is the drive shaft, this Corvette we're in. It's just when we start doing this, I'll remember more stories, and I'll get the old guys that remember this thing over and then talk about it. There's a poster in Mike's shop, and I'll go by there today and get it was for a big car show, I think in Oklahoma City, and it's facing you. It's just the coolest picture. Yep, I totally thrilled that he got it back.
All right, so it got here, but not entirely unscathed. A little bit of damage, but nothing we can't overcome here at Gas Monkey. On Monday, you're going to see us tear this thing all the way down, figure out what we got, talk to the original builder, and really get into what the digger was all about and why he built it. And then we're going to get it built and put it back on the road because I want to drive this thing. It's Texas titled and licensed. I'm going on the freeway.